Hi, I'm Robin, English teacher with Core Languages, and today I'm once again in my backyard and it is a beautiful day. And I have a question for you. Can you see me? I hope the answer is yes. You can see me. I cannot see you, but you can see me. What do you see when you look into the mirror? I would say, I can see myself. You can see yourself. You yourself might already know that. When I use words like myself or yourself, I use what's called reflexive or intensive pronouns. But what is the difference? A reflexive pronoun is when the subject, I, and the object is the same, I, myself. But what are intensive pronouns? With intensive pronouns, the subject and the object are not the same, but we still use myself. In today's video, I'm going to show you what reflexive and intensive pronouns are and how to use them. So the next time someone asks you, what do you see when you look into the mirror? You can formulate a perfect English sentence. Reflexive and intensive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are used whenever the object in the sentence is the same as the subject of the sentence. These occur in the predicate. Let's first review the object pronouns, which is when the subject and the object are not the same. I, me. You, you. He, him. She, her. It, it. We, us. You, you. And they, them. Now here are the reflexive pronouns when the subject and the object are the same. I, myself. You, yourself. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. We, ourselves. You, yourselves. They, themselves. Here are some example sentences that have reflexive pronouns where the subject and the object are the same. I saw myself in the mirror. Did you hurt yourself? He bought himself a laptop. She convinced herself to try something new. This problem won't solve itself. We saved ourselves some time. Did you ask yourselves why? And they can take care of themselves. Intensive pronouns are pronouns that can either occur immediately after the subject or at the very end of the sentence. They are used to add emphasis to the subject, and they are identical to the reflexive pronouns. I, myself, you, yourself, he, himself, she, herself, it, itself, we, ourselves, you, yourselves, and they, themselves. Here are some sentences that use intensive pronouns. Pay attention to where they are placed in the sentence. Are they behind the subject or are they at the end of the sentence? I did it myself. You yourself said to take risks. He managed it all himself. The CEO herself tried to fix the problem. The weather itself is an obstacle. We will find the answer ourselves. Even you yourselves were wrong. They themselves don't know. Notice that in these sentences, the subject and the object are not the same, but we still use intensive pronouns to add emphasis to the subject. Look at this sentence and try to choose the correct pronoun and see if you can identify if it is a reflexive pronoun or an intensive pronoun. She completed the project herself or himself. The correct pronoun is herself, and this is an intensive pronoun. The object in the sentence is the project. She is the subject, and the intensive pronoun herself is used to put emphasis on the subject she. And how about this sentence? Again, try to choose the correct intensive or reflexive pronoun and try to identify whether it is a reflexive or intensive pronoun. I helped yourself to another slice of pizza. Or, I helped myself to another slice of pizza. The correct sentence is, I helped myself to another slice of pizza. Myself is a reflexive pronoun. I is the subject and myself is the object of the sentence. Let's read the following sentences with reflexive and intensive pronouns. Try to identify whether the sentence uses a reflexive or an intensive pronoun. Are you cooking yourself something to eat? This sentence uses a reflexive pronoun. You is the subject and yourself is the object of the sentence. We fixed the problem ourselves. This sentence uses an intensive pronoun. We is the subject, the problem is the object, and ourselves is the intensive pronoun to add emphasis to the subject we. They themselves could not explain what happened. This sentence uses an intensive pronoun. Themselves adds emphasis to the subject they. She made herself a sandwich. This sentence uses a reflexive pronoun. She is the subject and herself is the object of the sentence. I am treating myself to an ice cream cone. This sentence uses a reflexive pronoun. I is the subject of the sentence and myself is the object of the sentence. You said it yourself. Hard work pays off. This sentence uses an intensive pronoun. Yourself adds emphasis to the subject you. I told myself I was ready. This sentence uses a reflexive pronoun. I is the subject and myself is the object. He painted the house himself. This sentence uses an intensive pronoun. He is the subject and himself puts emphasis on the subject he. The house is the object of the sentence. Thank you for watching. I hope you now have a better understanding of how to use reflexive and intensive pronouns. As always, if you have more questions, feel free to comment, or if you're interested in joining one of our courses with a live instructor, feel free to message us directly. I look forward to seeing you in our next class.